session. Welcome. And today there's nothing much because we have a bank holiday in the US. So pretty much the stock market will be closed. So uh, we just wait. Okay, we'll just go through the other asset classes and then wait for tomorrow. So I don't think we'll even do an hour here. So we'll just review yesterday's close and after reviewing yesterday's close, I think we'll just wait for tomorrow because the stock market will be closed. And that's why we insist on analyzing the stock market. Why? Because at least we have some time. Uh, we have some, okay, actually, we have more to talk about instead of just FX and the other asset classes. So, why stock market? Because we have a lot to talk about individual companies to be specific. So, uh, without further ado, I think I'll just start from the indices. From the indices side, uh, I think we saw indices gaining towards the close yesterday, and gaining towards the close yesterday, we saw this run. I think let me go to the hourly, to the 15 minutes, but okay, it gained substantially. Kidogo tu, no much action yesterday. Actually, volume was very weak, not as strong as the previous day, not as strong as I think Monday, but we saw some movement and a positive movement. If you can remember well, yesterday the market was not doing that. If you can remember, yesterday the market was down when you were leaving here, when you are closing down. But today, I think today there's nothing much because the stock market is closed. We expect a continuation of that ranginess. So the US 30, nothing much happened. It was pretty much a consolidation. I think the same with Nasdaq, a consolidation, but towards the top. Thing is, the consolidation. The consolidation was very tight. Nothing to see here, but towards the top. That's the main thing. Towards the top of where, if you can remember this range, we're still looking to go towards the top, and you can see prices slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. But today, what I know about today is that nothing much will happen because the stock market is closed. So this is what we are doing. It's we're just seeing the after data. It's the after overnight, what we call the overnight hours. But as you can see, even on my watch list, Zico spotted with a gray dot, and it says holiday. So just like I expect the price to come break this and then go up to 20,077. And we saw yesterday price fake out down here and going back up. So I'll go on and look at S&P 500. S&P 500 broke out aggressively towards the close. I mean, broke out this day. When was this? This on Monday. Monday, after breaking out on Monday, I'm sorry, we saw the same ranginess. Happen, what we experienced in the other indices. So before I dive into the how the individual stocks closed down, I just want to go to the what I call the rest portfolio, um, and analyze the FX market and maybe some commodities. But before that, I think since I'm going to the rest, there was UKCP CPI earnings. There was no any surprise. It came down to 2%, and 2%. year to year. So it means that the tightening is working, and the inflation going down. I think BOE might. I don't know how they will vote, but kidogo, I think they will cut rates come tomorrow, and I'm not sure about that, but uh, they might decide to wait and see if inflation can be consistently down below 2% before cutting. But this one signal that their tightening is working. So uh, that's something to see. That's something to watch. And what do we know about cutting rates? We know when it cuts, we expect the pound to weaken because interest rates and the exchange rate have a negative correlation. So keep that in mind. So first things first, I think it's okay. It's better if we start with the pound and what we see with the pound. The pound today, I think, has gained, and it's green on the day. And when I put my cursor on when the new happened, CPI was as expected, and we saw a rally in the pound. So we saw a rally, uh, not really. I think most of the investors were expecting a lower print, and a lower print is very good for the yeah, it's very good for the currency. I mean, an exact print means I'm sorry, an exact print means it's good for the currency, and we expected the currency to go up. So uh, a lower, which either below 2%, I think we should see the pound weakening. So uh, I'm torn between two, but tomorrow we will know what will happen. But I expect, uh, I expect I expect either a cut or we will see something about the how they vote because I know they usually vote the MPC, and during the vote we might see guys leaning more to cutting of rates because it's tight there in Europe and in UK here it's tight kidogo. So they might be a cut. If not, there will be another pause. But hiking of rates is off the table, and yeah, I think we'll see something happen tomorrow. So uh, back to back to the DXY. The DXY is still falling. Kidogo. Let me just come from the higher time frame, and we can see still trying to push up. Not no much action this week because we barely moved. I think those candles are very small. So since we've just moved, I think less than 200 pips. So 200, 250. So but as price action looks, it looks price still wants to push up, and like we said, the dollar will be very strong. But the recent retail sales pointed a weak dollar kidogo. That's why I think has a little challenge trying to move up. So apart from that, definitely the opposite will happen uh, across the opposite will happen across the majors, and you can see the majors not no much action. Very sticky price action. I don't like sticky price action, but I'm very in a nutshell. I don't play forex nowadays, but EU looks to be going down, and because the dollar is strong and the eurozone wants to cut the rates, so uh, I'm looking for to see the euro rolling over. So EU will be going down, and we'll wait and see. And if GBP, USD, if the pound, if UK decides to cut rates, same will happen. The problem here we have the Australian bank still very hawkish, and the US is still very hawkish. So we might see a lot of ranging from this pair. So if you're deciding to trade anything, I think this is one of the pairs you should avoid. If you're deciding to play this, I think you should look if you're a scalper, a range trader. This is your pair, but uh, not much action because both central banks are looking to are very hawkish on their currency and of the economy, and that's what it looks like. On this other end, we can see the Swiss gaining and gaining by a day, and I think because of the retail sales, we saw that gain, and we know what the Swiss bank did. They did cut rates earlier, I think last month, and we have a on Thursday tomorrow we still have another nini. Uh, we have another interest rate hearing from the Swiss bank, and if they decide to cut rates again, we might see the dollar strengthening against the Swiss franc, and if you the story goes on and on and on, but we can see. I'm now at the USD Canadian dollar, and very wiki chart. I love wiki charts, so I don't like wicks. And why do I not like? I don't like wicks because wicks they represent indecision to me. So there's a lot of indecision to this chart, but what we know, we stick with what we know fundamentally, and fundamentally the dollar is very strong. The other and, eh, the Canada. I don't know much about how Canada is doing right now, but I don't think they have started cutting rates. So yeah, just wait and see. What I know about Canadian dollar is that it is kidogo pegged with the oil, so something to look at. We saw this is uh, this is the yen. The yen. We expect price to still get. We expect the yen to still be getting battered by. It will continue getting battered by the US until they cut. I mean, they what our cut? They want to. I think weather wants to go positive on the interest rates. So I don't know what will happen. So right now, just wait and see. But as you can see, another wiki chart, not as wiki because not as wiki as the other one, but expect price to move up. And why do I expect price to move up? Technically, I can just see this, and don't mind me. I'll draw and draw and draw for you guys because that's how I interpret the market. And we saw a breakout, we saw a deep retest, and now we can see price trying to move up. And price trying to move up, it means it can move to. I think we can break another high here, and I think that's it. You can see maybe see price moving towards 162s. So I'll leave that there. And since I don't play the FX market nowadays, I'm sorry, I've been very vocal about that lately. But what I had seen here previously, I had seen this, and I think it followed the pattern. Let us talk about the yen kidogo. And if we see a pattern work, get very excited. I get very excited. Look at that accuracy of that delivery. And yeah, now you might see price after this consolidation, price going much higher. So who knows? This is not financial advice. Don't take it, but you can see it is working on the pairs too. So that's for me, but I won't use it. Anyway, moving on, we go to the commodities, and what are the commodities doing today? And because of the low price action, we don't expect much is happening. We just saw price break out. and we expect price to at least go test this area. I think we marked out that yesterday, and this is what is happening. A breakout, price is still trading above the breakout area, above the counter trend line, which is something very positive. So if we see price moving up and beating these highs, I think we can see price to breaking this counter trend line and then moving and moving and going and going. So that's it about that. I think I can talk about the can talk about the can talk about silver. Silver, it's part of the commodities. I think I can just talk about gold and not mention something about silver. And what I said, price is obeying a channel right now. And obeying a channel means we expect price to move much higher. And the moving much higher means that we expect price to come at least test, if not break, this counter trend line, the upper trend line of the channel. So uh, I'll leave it at that. On a very light note, I won't go to the nitty gritties of what is happening today, but uh, if I can just mention, I'm sorry, if I can just mention, price looks to have found a kitu kama what I can see right now. From this low, I think we can classify this as bullish because we printed a higher high, and can this qualify as a higher low? But uh, this looks kidogo like a cup and handle, so a continuation maybe to the top, but it is very volatile. Uh, I think it's ranging around the same area. So I think if we throw the patterns out of the question, we can just this can qualify as a as a as a minor resistance, and if price breaks this minor resistance, we might see higher price action, the price action going higher, and maybe test the upper trend line, like what I mentioned earlier. So I want to trash this, and I think I move forward. Moving forward, I think I'll just go back to the. I think I'll just go back to the charts, to the stocks, my favorite watch list. So don't mind me. So I'll start on top. I'll start with the running trades that I have, and tuanzie na Microsoft Softy. What is the Softy doing? Softy still at it. Still at it. Yesterday we saw it was very weak yesterday. Uh, Fell off the open, ranged down there, but what we expect price to still go higher. So why do we expect price to go higher? Expect price to go higher because we broke out of this triangle back. When was this? Back on Wednesday last week, and that's when we entered that trade, and expect price to move much higher towards the 470 area, and like I said, as soon as it hits here, I think I'll check visuals because I've already broken even to this. I've already broken even my position, so I'm running risk free on this trade. So Tesla, what is Tesla doing? Tesla is ranging. Yesterday was not that busy. I don't know why, but there was a stifled volume, and what we can see another counter trend line which was created on the 15 minutes time frame, where we expect price to do what to break this counter trend line and then just go. And as you can see, if you want to call it a triangle, call it a triangle. If you want to call it a cup and handle, feel free. But that's how price looks like right now. I'm sorry. Let me do this again. This is a consolidation I'm looking at, and if it breaks to the top, yeah, we're going on, and we're going to, let's see, I didn't even estimate. So what I'm looking to do, I'm looking to take an entry on breakouts. If it breaks out around this area, I can add on my two positions and maybe see price test the 200s. Why do I say that? Because if you can remember this the pattern we're playing here, this pattern we're playing here points to 200, and having another consolidation, which I think, not I think, I know, which is backing this move. And it is backing this move to the 200. So you can see the zone is almost the same. So it means it's just another continuation setup inside another setup. So that's why I'll just enter and have another add-on towards my position. So what do I mean? I'm trying to say that whenever you get a chance to add on to your position, do it. Why? Because it means it was already confirmed, and a confirmed rally. You take advantage of that and yeah, capitalize on that, because hiyo time ingine when you get when you take losses and you're not sure if price will go towards your direction, what do you do? Yeah. So ukipata chance ya kufinya finya, and that's what I do. I think there's a lot of you can do much with the add-ons when you're capitalizing on a confirmed direction on the trade, uh, as opposed to try and play a new setup from the beginning. So what this setup is trying to tell us is that it is confirmed. I've broken out, I've retested on the lower time frame, on the higher time frame, I've broken out, retested, and I'm still going. I still have the juice. So whenever, that's what I do. If I get a chance to add on, I add on and break even on the others, or I even take partials on the others and then go. Hapo ni pali, if you started with something like 1:2, you have another 1:2 up there, and end it all with, let's say, it's just for instance, I don't know how tight your RLs are, but if it's 1:2 when you're starting, and another, you add another one, 1:2, at least, you see, it's double. It's double whatever you're expecting, because you break even for the first 1:2, and now you're running risk free with some partials bagged, and now it's like you're getting 1:4. So that's how I maximize. And like I showed you the lamb trade, if the lamb trade if the objective was much higher, if it was not only for 200, if I was looking for, let's say, to 16, what I would have done, let's say it's 1:2 here. Let's say it's 1:2 there. So allow me. If 1:2 there, and I see the price is looking to go much higher, and maybe to the 216s, hivi tu ndio ningefanya. I just add that, and now it's 1:to 4.86, and when I reach my objective 200, the first objective, what I do, I take partials, or instead of even taking partials, I just break even and let my position run. And by breaking even, I mean pull my stops on the stop loss side to above my entry. So instead of 1:2, now it's 1:4, and I had the previous 1:2. So that's what I mean by finya. Ukipata chance ya kufinya, finya. Okay. Without much further ado, I don't want to keep talking about Tesla, because I can talk about Tesla the entire time. I know mshachoka. So this is what I mean. If you had taken this trade, and I still insist on this, and you took, let's say, 1:2 towards 1100, and then you find something like this, and then you take that trade hapo ndogo, and then when you realize the trade is very healthy, you push your stop loss up towards the higher time frame setup TP, and then you have a pretty 1:11.9. So you get my point. If you get a chance to make an add-on, finya. Anyway, moving forward. I'm going to Bank of America. Bank of America. This is my first mid cap, which I'm playing live here, and looks very healthy so far. And points to 40s, 40.7. So I think that's 70s. So uh, towards the close, very healthy. It did range the better part of the day, but at least it started with a good breakout, and after the breakout, we saw price moving higher and higher and higher, and after moving higher, it ranged kidogo towards the close, and then made another HOD 30 minutes towards the close. So that's something to look at, and we're watching this and we're waiting for price to go much higher. So here's Amazon. Amazon, you remember I had a position. It was a big quarter, so it was not a position by the normal way I do things. It is not a breakout. It is just an opportunist position. It happens. It happens everywhere. I know you do the same also. Sometimes it's against your system, but what happens if you do this? Make sure you risk manage well, and that's why I showed you guys how I use my position size calculator so that I can ensure my exposure is at minimum. So we saw price moving down. I think the Mag sevens were moving down aggressively yesterday, and we saw price do this. We saw price approaching this level, and it acted like support, and now it started moving up. So we don't know how it will open as from tomorrow, because today we don't have any stock market. So because it's Juneteenth, it's a bank holiday there. So really a bank holiday, it's just a holiday. So we expect to see price moving up. So my hope is price will be moving up and completing this somehow of a triangle. Can you call this a triangle? It's very tight on the top. Let us see. Very tight. I think it qualifies as a cup and handle. But what I say is the most important feature of any continuational setup is the counter trend line. So I'll just stick with this. I don't want to call it names. So if we see a breakout, we hopefully to see price moving towards the 200 zone. So in another explanation of this, I think we are about to see price getting out of this range, and it's a range on the daily where we have the resistance and the support. We saw price being supported here. We saw the reaction here. So price moving back up and coming back again here, got retested and supported, and we see price moving up. It tried moving down, and it was supported by the earnings gap up and the May earnings gap up. So we see price again is again finding support here and moving up, and we expect with this pattern, because how I take my patterns, I take the right edge of the chart patterns, zile zinatokea mwisho kabisa. I don't want to take the rest to reduce unnecessary information. So this is the pattern which is being formed out here, and as we can see, the price action go up and up. We expect price to push back up. So without staying too much on Amazon, I think I'll go to Meta. And what about Meta? Meta is pretty much doing the same. I want to remove this, but I want to show you a channel which is being created by this channel created by Meta's price action recently, and this is on the hourly, and we saw Meta form that low yesterday, and so we expect price to move much higher. I want to remove this because it has no meaning right now. It had meaning yesterday when I was drawing out the order blocks on the 15 minutes time frame of the previous, I think Monday, the Monday's price action. So I expect price to move higher, possibly, and I hope it breaks this counter trend line. And if it breaks, I think price will move much higher. we estimated, and we already have pending positions after the breakout. So moving on, I won't stick there. And moving on to another Mag 7. Another Mag 7 is a very beautiful setup, and I hope this breaks out. And this is what it looks like. Very slow day. Yesterday it rolled, actually, it rolled over. So a lot of Mag 7 stocks, the Magnificent 7, were rolling down yesterday. So we expect price to come, break this, and then move towards 225s. Again, I entered some trades, not really entered. I set some buy stops, and that's a good pending position to wait for it to get activated. I hope Kesho, by Kesho we might fill this gap. Who knows? We just wait. So I go to Google, and Google pretty much the same, but it really went low, and the triangle is there. Don't talk much about it because the triangle is self-explanatory right now if you've been following. And we might see price go up, and if it breaks here, definitely we expect a higher price action towards the 180s. So that is what we expect, and that is what I expect. Nikisema Jesse is not here, or Jesse is here. Jesse, are you here? Okay, it's not yet here.
I am. Just listening.
Oh, just listening. Oh, okay. Let me finish this because I was reviewing my yesterday trades, and and you can see Coinbase doing pretty much of nothing because I think the crypto market is not that booming right now. But you can remember what is happening there, and you can see we have a counter trend line. We're just waiting for it to break and then just play the setup as it is. So moving on, I think Qualcomm is doing pretty much of nothing because it's ranging after a very aggressive week. You saw yesterday it opened up with almost the same percentage which was printed on Monday. It was an open of a 3.2%. That was huge. So Qualcomm chip names are doing pretty good right now. So Hilton, it didn't give us an entry. It refused to give us an entry yesterday. And the previous day, the entire week, per se. So just expect to see price action go towards the 219s. But that was a setup which was bringing price towards the top. And it was a pretty decent trade. I really envy, and you feel form of when you see a trade go to fruition and you're not on board and you just can't enter because there are no, hey, you don't have a setup which prompts you to take that trade. So another one was Booking. Booking is doing pretty nice. It just went to fruition yesterday towards the close. And what we can do, we can just trash this because the objective has been met. And what we can pray for another consolidation because a consolidation means an opportunity. So I know it might take long, and yes, it will take long. Why? Let me give you a scenario. This is 22nd May, and it broke out June 12th. So that's around a month of waiting. So we can just wait for, maybe it will be on a lower time frame, but essentially that's why we have that's why we are always stock picking by the day because uh, when one setup is being created, we think there are others which are performing well and breaking out and giving us opportunities. That's the beauty of the stock market. Every day it's a day of opportunity, and you can squeeze something out of the market. And going forward to Adobe, as you can see, we mentioned this consolidation, and the consolidation looks like that, and still waiting for price to break out. And you can see a very beautiful counter trend line, high stress. I'm really waiting for to see price action go above this, and possibly play the setup. Why? Because the last time I think I traded anything about Adobe, I think it was last year, mid last year, because imekuwa na very bad time. Come, let's see. It has been going down, down, and down this year. You see, it was a very bad year, pretty bad, very bad year. But after these earnings, the previous earnings, which we witnessed last week, price the Adobe shareholders and the stock traders wameamua we can do something about this price. So moving forward, just review whatever Nvidia is doing, and Nvidia is on steroids, going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. So for Nvidia, it's easy. Wait for consolidation, play the charts. I don't think I'll talk about anything else. Uh, what iconic what is some iconic we saw towards the end, towards yesterday's close? I bet nothing, but I think we talked about super microcomputers. We were talking when it was here, when it was doing this retest, and you remember price going, it rallied and then went down, and I think it is not, it wants to go back up. And if you remember yesterday, I drew something close to this breakout. We came here. I thought it will be rebounding from here, but lower it is, and then we've seen price going back up. And as per the consolidation, it means we expect price to be moving higher and higher and higher, and higher to where? Higher to the 1200s. So buckle up. If your broker has this sticker, it is very playable. And yeah, nothing much. I don't want to talk about to bore you today, because the stock market haitafunguliwa in the next 20 minutes, because tumezoea the opening bell in like 20 minutes. And just say hi to guys, and then yeah, get us through whatever you have prepared for us today, and then we close this, because we don't have much to talk about because of the June 10th holiday. So just are you here?
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Walter. That was quite insightful. I've been following up, and I hope everyone else has been following up on the same. So I'd just like to
Anytime.
say, yeah, yeah, okay. That doesn't matter. So before I even do that, I just want to say a big thank you to every one of you who has been watching these streams on a daily. I think I was just checking the data today, and each and every day we have more than 200 guys watching these streams. So a big thank you to everyone who has been supporting us, and we can only go higher, we can only do better. Thanks all to you. So today was, for me personally, was not a trading day per se, given that I expected the markets will be quite subdued, given that there's no trading activity in the major economies, in the major economy, that is the US. We don't expect that there will be a bell come New York open, like we always do each and every day. So today everything will be just subdued, but we are here regardless, just to keep tabs on what is happening, inform guys, just keep going with this community that is so supportive of us. Thank you for again for showing up every day to these streams. On that note, like I said, nothing much to report on today. I will start with my favorites. Obviously, at the moment, silver is doing quite nice for me on the portfolio, so maybe I'll give it preference or priority while talking today. I'm hoping that itanisikia na itanisikia, and it will be good to work in my favor. So anyway, so for silver, everything's subdued. The position is still active, not stopped out yet. We came down again yesterday, touched current support, then bounced back up. I have worries. First of all, let me just confess these worries on where silver wants to take us. Why do I have worries? So number one, it's not always a good thing when you are standing on the same side as most retail traders in the market. So you don't want to be in that position where If the retail sentiment is bullish, you're also bullish. If the retail sentiment is bearish, you're also bearish. Why do I say this? Because uh, retail traders are the guys who lose a lot of money. Well, this is a proven stat. I'm not going into detail into that, but retail traders are most likely going to be losing their money. So, do I want to stand on the side of the guys who are losing majority of their money? No, I don't. I want to be on the winning side. What is the winning side? The winning side is the opposite of where retail traders are. So, for me, silver made sense to go into the market for a buy, given that we had some correlation in the positioning of some of the major levels on silver. Number one, we were at that breakout level at 28 point something, point 0.9, give or take 28 to 29. And yeah, that was our breakout level, and it made a lot of sense for me to go long, expecting a reversal of the most recent bearish trend of the daily, but a continuation of the long-term trend that is a bullish trend, if I can just zoom out. So it made a lot of sense for me to go long this market. But what I've been analyzing, and especially when it comes to retail sentiment, there's some signal providers, not signal providers, the signals I used to, but information providers, mostly to do with the commitment of traders data. This is released again by the authorities in the US, that it's a mandatory reporting that for people who hold big positions in the market, they should be able to report on that, so that this report is released on a weekly basis. So, given that this report is released each and every end of week and it relates to data for last week, I sought to find other avenues where I can, try and get what is retail sentiment at any one time. So I got just today, and this is very experimental. I'm not driving anyone to go and check it out. So there are these guys called IG Markets who have released this data on a daily basis, sometimes just to share with us how their clients or the people who are using these markets are placed or are positioned in the market. So for one, this is why I'm saying that I'm very skeptical of my positioning right now. I don't want to be on the retail side of things. So if I can just quickly just maneuver to, I don't know where that. I hope I can find it very soon, but I don't keep you guys guessing. Okay, here we go. So according to the latest scoop, this is just the data I'm looking at on my screen. I think I'll share that with you. For anyone who will be willing to look at the data, I'll share that on my individual Twitter handle or on the traders, Top Traders KE, Top Traders Kenya page after this stream. So according to the data I'm looking at, I guess disclaimer, again, disclaimer, this is information I'm getting from IG Markets, who are providing data on their clients' positioning, that is on a daily basis, especially given that yesterday we saw some soft economic data from the US. So I sought to get a feeling of how people position themselves after the release of that data. So there is a whopping 77.94% of traders who are, heavy and waving that bullish flag that is on silver. So they are mostly bullish on silver. Remember, this is a 77.94%, and that is quite a significant level of traders. So they are bullish. So in fact, the ratio that of this long versus short is a whopping 3.53 to 1 of traders who are long on silver. But that's not the end of the story. There has been a slight dip in the number of optimistic traders, that is, number of traders who are bullish on silver since yesterday. A slight change since yesterday. And there is a more dramatic decrease from the highs of last week, meaning, and although that most traders or clients of these guys are mostly bullish on silver, that number is currently on the down low, or it is reducing. So slightly from yesterday, and also reducing quite dramatically from the numbers reported last week. So specifically, we're talking about a 1.29% drop from yesterday's silver bullish positioning, and not so insignificant 4.69% from last week's bullish positioning on silver. So again, just to repeat that, yesterday when we saw the data being released, the number of traders who are bullish on silver reduced by 1.29% of 1.3% for that matter. And this number also reduced by around 5% from that reported last week. So we can see a dwindling number of guys or clients who are mostly bullish on silver. And yeah, so again, this can be a sign of things to come, but we're yet to see. So what is the market looking like? So since yesterday, we have seen that bounce. We have seen silver pushing up, although not breaking any major levels, especially from last week where we had these highs. I'm looking at the close. So at the close, the candle closure, we had the level of 29.8, which is quite significant, because if you're breaking that 29.8 level, then we might be headed upwards from a technical point of view. So my position is still at break even, no movements from that. So what else am I seeing from the data that now I'm looking at now in my worldly wisdom? This is the information I've collected during my days of trading. Such overwhelming optimism could typically spell trouble for silver prices. But that's not all. The recent shift in sentiment that I've just talked about have thrown in a wrench into my theory. So the decrease in the number of silver bulls and the uptick in those betting against it could be a red flag for bears ahead. So this is although most traders are still positioned bullish, there's a decrease in this number, and there's an increase in the number of guys who are betting against silver. So they are waiting for lower silver prices. So this again adds on to my confidence that there is maybe hope in the near future that my position might be justified for that matter. So let's not forget that overall sentiment is still higher than last week, which could suggest a bullish comeback might be on the horizon for us. So yeah, so in the moment, I'm not 100% sure of what position I should be taking, given that I already have a position, but I'm not entering into new positions, given that I'm receiving mixed signals, and I don't like being in that state of confusion. So if you're as confused as me, join the club. So in summary, there's a current bullish sentiment, but recent bearish sentiment is also trying to, make its way into the mix of things. So predicting silver's next move feels like a bit of trying to predict the weather, and that does not turn out well if you're not into weather instruments. If you're not a weather instrument, please do not try to predict the weather. It may end up very badly for you. So good luck out there if you're trying to predict prices. What I really like to do is just participate in whatever comes my way. But I'm not closing the current position because still not being stopped out, still in the at break even. So yeah, maybe it's as confused as I am. So moving on to something else, another commodity, that is gold. That is a gold, yeah. So on gold, we are seeing such, again, I don't want to talk about the price action today because it's mostly muted as expected, because not many traders are active. Maybe in the Asian markets also, and I think that time came and went with the wind. So not much to report on today. But what am I seeing currently? So again, we still have that support level, not broken. Retested twice now since we formed such a support back in April. So it's been tested twice this month with nothing closing below or any breaks below that support. So again, I continue being optimistic that we're yet to see higher gold prices. But let me confuse you some more. So according to, again, to that retail data that I just obtained from IG Markets, there is a whopping 57.3% of traders who are feeling quite bullish about gold. So apparently, the ratio of those long versus short is a staggering 1.34 to 1. So for every one trader who is short, there's 1.34 traders who is long on gold. So most positioning is towards the long side. Again, do I like being on the side of the majority in the markets? No, but I am anyway. However, there's a slight downturn in the number of optimistic or bullish traders compared to yesterday. Remember that this data is released each and every day. That is why I find it a good source of information at the moment until I can find a better one or see how this data is accurate also. But you try to believe that they're releasing quite accurate data from what they're looking at on their back end. Remember, this is positioning of their clients. So there has been a slight downturn in the number of traders who are bullish compared to yesterday before we had the data, and a rather substantial drop from last week. So although most traders are positioned long, that number has reduced from yesterday and also substantially from what was reported last week, meaning that we are receiving more short bias traders on gold. So going to specifics, I think there is a 4%
Jesse, are you still there? I think Jesse has momentarily dropped, but I think he'll be he'll coming back up and finish on what he was presenting. But as for me, I'm doing nothing. Nothing much to see here on my end. As we wait for Jesse, uh, I can't see anything. I'm just looking at Nasdaq. It's like an off day for me. So, niko off until the stock market comes back. So, that is tomorrow. So, uh, if Jesse manages to come back, it's okay. But I think I earlier mentioned about gold. And since it is gold, he was talking about gold, and I still expect gold to go higher. Unlike silver, gold has a better price action, and I justified bullish narrative because it is actually operating above that counter trend line which I drew. So that is for me. I don't know about the sentiment Jesse alikuwa anaweka, so uh, having really a very hard time kwake. I think naona akijaribu kuingia akitoka. So that basically means technical issues. And I can't say anything much. And before he comes back, you guys remember you guys remember we have a trading competition ongoing, and the trading competition it's something very good. We interact on a skill based level, and we having guests. I think I mentioned that on that page, on the community page, where we'll be bringing on the top three one by one, kila mtu na siku yake. So our first guest I think will be on Friday, and yeah, he'll come here, show us what he does, and at least we learn something from him. And that's what I want to do, and that's what that was actually the objective of this. We bring the objective of the competition. We like bring the guys who are topping to come show us their skills, and then it becomes advantageous to you, to everybody, to the community, to the society, and we try ending that fallacy. Oh, nini trading forex ni scam, sijui nini. We just want to show the world that guys can do it, and Kenya, to be specific, guys can do it. So kindly support us, go there, do something. uh, Ingia trade, si lazima ushinde. Just go, it is a do your thing. Me, I'm also doing my thing, and I had a bad month as compared to last month. uh, but I'm up 3.5%. That is fair enough for me, and risking 0.5 to 1%. So that is fair for me. Go there if you can make it to the leaderboard. Well and good, very good. And while at it, we are all over. We are always here every day, and always here every day means we are on YouTube every day with the same Top Traders Kenya. Go there, watch our recordings. The day you didn't make it for the live stream, go there and take the nitty gritty skills zile si tuko nazo, because we are like trading for you guys here. And why are we doing this? We want to interact on a skill based level, and this is what we are doing. Apart from the competition, kuja hapa, ona vile traders wanafanya vitu. It doesn't have to it is it doesn't have to be the same strategy that you use, but a different approach to the market. Maybe even we are using different assets as compared to what you use. But the thing is, we want to show and interact with guys on a skill based level. Tusiongee tu, tusitype tu Twitter, tusifanye tu, yeah? Tuweke hizi charades kando, and kujeni, let us do something, let us do something, let us do something. Nobody's charging you, iko hapa tu with your two bundles, the way you just roam out there. Yeah, watch us do our thing. Feel free to ask any question, say hi, interact with us. If you're not confident enough to interact with us on the comment sections, our DMs are open. Ask questions, tunajibu, and yeah, that's what we just look to do. We just looking to do, and yeah, at the same time, we want to see the industry grow. So interact na sisi if you're interested in the stock market. Hapo ndio mimi nimespecialize. I'll give you some tips, and why I do that instead of FX, and why did I come out of there. You'll see why. Kwa hapa tu, and maybe learn something new. If you're a beginner, hapa hauchajui kitu yoyote. Imagine hauchajui ni shilingi hapa. So come interact with us. Jione, soma chini ya maji if you don't want to be labeled as a beginner. I was there na nilikuwa najua. Most of us we are not that courageous, but that's it. I think Jesse amekuwa na a very hard time trying to come back, and I had planned to do this for an hour only. Why? Because there's no stock market for today, and why we do this for 3 hours is nothing, because it's because majorly on the stock market. Kwa nini? There are over 500 pairs in the stock market. Unaona? And over 500 pairs, it means every day we can go through charts and charts, as many charts as we want, so that we can try and identify an opportunity. So if you are doing this for FX only, sidhani tungekuwa tunakaa hapa for more than 1 hour, because right now I think I've just gone through DXY and the majors and the currencies, and even labda mention a few, and I've already even mentioned the stocks, and it's 1 hour now, sindio? We have just exhausted everything on the FX and the commodities. So you can, if you imagine if you were going on for 3 hours, ingekuwa najirudia. So that's why we decided, me and Jesse, we do this for 3 hours, but talk about all other assets. We can talk about indices, we can talk about other things, but if we tie ourselves to only talk about the FX market, tutakuwa na shida, and it won't be as engaging. So I think this is something very new, and a very new angle to approach this. So welcome, mwende pale, just like, retweet, hivyo vitu kama hizo tu. That's something, that's fuel to us. If you have any feedback, just say it. So I don't think I have much today. That's it. I think we have we are not expecting the market to open. It's already past 4:30. So adios. We see you tomorrow, and yeah, have a good day.